Wanle has literally been chasing fires all day, covering the peninsula for us. She joins me now live for an update. Norma Wetu, good evening to you. It looks like it's going to be another long night for firefighters. The city of Cape Town on high alert.
A very good evening to you, Natasha. Certainly it's going to be another long night for these firefighters here in the South Peninsula. We've been watching them throughout the day. All we see is a cloud of smoke that has covered the South Peninsula and helicopters flying all over as they try to contain the blaze. What I must say, what's really interesting from all these communities is how they've come together. You know, it's threatening their properties, it's threatening their animals. I spoke to some people earlier who have evacuated their horses, but of course there have been a number of people that have been evacuated from the Muizenberg side. That's where it started, and it spread right across this mountain behind me, and there's this huge cloud of smoke right there in that corner, and on the other side is Hout Bay, and you know that there are a lot of informal settlements there, so it's really worrying when we see what's happening there. But of course we couldn't get into Hout Bay because of our safety, and of course the firefighters not letting us in. This is the best that we could bring you this evening. But to tell us more how today unfolded and how the firefighters are continuing to do their work, we now talk to someone from the work of Fire, Linton Rensburg. Linton, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you. Good evening. Norma Wetu, it's been an extremely difficult 48 hours since yesterday, early hours of yesterday morning when the fire started in the Boys Drive area. Extreme weather conditions yesterday, wind, hot weather, and unfortunately through the night the fire flared up on a number of places. Right now, since yesterday morning, multiple teams from the Working on Fire program, Table Mountain National Park, as well as the volunteer wildfire services. We've had close to 400 firefighters from those three services on this fire since the early hours of yesterday morning. In addition to that, we've also had 5 helicopters, 4 from the Working on Fire program, 1 from the SA National Defence Force. We've had 2 Working on Fire bombers, as well as a spotter plane. So really an integrated approach to fighting this fire, both on the ground and in the air. Already at this stage, just over 3,000 hectares of veld and fynbos that has been destroyed, and we've been told by Table Mountain National Park that the Silver Mine Resort has been under threat this morning. There were 1 or 2 bungalows that actually burned down there. We expect another busy night. As you can hear and see up above, the helicopters are busy. In fact, for us in the Working on Fire program, we've had 4 fires going on during the past weekend. 1 out in Saron that has been burning for more than a week now. In addition, 1 out in Betty's Bay as well as Houston. This afternoon I've been informed that the Working on Fire program are sending an additional 250 firefighters from the Eastern Cape as well as the Free State to assist the already exhausted fire crews.
Just to stop you there, Linton, we've seen some people being evacuated from their homes. Are we likely to see more of this evening? Because we know the wind picks up in the evening. What are we likely to see? Well,
it's difficult to say. Yesterday evening we had the unfortunate situation of the wind picking up. As you can see, it's a bit clear tonight. It's difficult to say. You know, some of the vegetation is very dry. It was also very dry during the course of the day. So we will probably only be able to have a fair assessment around about 9 or 10 o'clock. But again, we asked for people in Cape Town and in around the Constanceburg area and in the Hout Bay area just to please stay off the roads and to make sure that our emergency vehicles can get through.
Thank you very much for your time. Well, that was Linton Rensburg from the Work on Fire telling us more what has unfolded here throughout the day. I'm just going to move out of shot so that my cameraman can zoom into what's happening there right at the top of the mountain. We've been monitoring the fire which started there at the top. It's just been dropping down, and we've seen some residents coming out here to see for themselves because, of course, this is a threat to their property and their animals, and of course a threat to their lives. We've seen a lot of people being evacuated, but of course Linton saying that he doesn't know what's going to happen throughout the night. And of course, I think the most important thing that the firefighters are hoping for tonight is that the wind does not pick up, because really that really does hamper their efforts as they work throughout the night. But of course, we're expecting more people to come in and assist, of course, from the Free State and the Eastern Cape. With that, it's back to you in the studio, Natasha.
Norma Wetu, thank you very much. That's Norma Wetu Sowande live from Constantiaberg in Cape Town.
Right, it's a devastating story that we're covering for you, and early reports are that this may carry on for another week. Well, we're starting to get some tweets coming through on social media, and the story that's coming through is of those heroes, the firefighters. And we start with Mark Africa, who says, "Our unsung heroes, save our mountain, Muizenberg fire, hashtag Cape Fire." Alexandra says, "I actually can't believe this. Muizenberg fire still burning. So sad to see our beautiful mountains covered in flames." Huge respect, this is Sharon Clarence, huge respect to all of those fighting the fires and supporting the firefighters. Scary how close it is to us that it's been. And Mel says, "Shame, man, the small animals are probably frightened by the fire, some running around helplessly." And as we heard in that report a little earlier on, 400 fighters trying to contain that fire, and we wish them the very best.